Hey y'all! Okay, it's time. What the hell was that opening? It's time for Marvel movies. We are now watching Spider-Man: Homecoming. Oh my god! So this is the movie that kind of threw Phase 3 into haywire because, like, oh my god, we got Spider-Man, and that just changed some things up for the second half of Phase 3. And let's see here, 2017. Oh, tagline: Young boy has his first date. Is intimidated by her father. Uh, a lot of these require you to have seen the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, you'll get it eventually. You're like, I get it. So 175 million to make, made 880 million dollars. So pretty good. Almost broke the billion. Didn't. Far From Home probably will because people really like the Spider-Man. So people are looking forward to the next one, and also Mysterio is going to be in that one. So good for that. So I really like the casting of this movie. Tom Holland is great. He's by far the best high school Peter Parker because he was like what 20? He was 20, 21 during this movie. He might have been 22. I think he's 22 now. He's college age when this movie happened, but he looks young enough to be high school. That's the thing is no one else looked high school as far as any of the Spider-Men before him. I like the younger Aunt May. People are complaining that she's too young. She's like 40 or like 45. That's still a good age. That's a typical age, really, for usually what your aunt's going to be, unless it's, a family that just had generational children. Um, but I think it's a fine age, also because of what might happen with her, and happy. I like that. The Stanley cameo is okay. It's a good movie, good villain with Michael Keaton. I really like him. The end fight's really good. I remember pieces of this movie. Oh my god, I'm remembering more pieces of this movie. This movie goes to a lot of places, especially with the spider suit and all the things going on with that. And so much happens with this movie. And there's some things I guess I'll talk about after the movie for anyone who hasn't seen the movie yet. Like just the complaints people have about why this isn't in there, why that isn't in there, is because we've done it a bajillion times already. Um, but I like that we got the Vulture because we've never gotten the Vulture before. And I like that we're going to get Mysterio because we've never gotten Mysterio before. We always get Green Goblin. So I like that we get Vulture. And he's really good. Michael Keaton's great. Michael Keaton's really good. He's very fun. He's a good villain. He's one of the more memorable villains for sure. And that's what makes him so enjoyable. Anything else to talk about before we get into it? I don't think so. It's a good movie. It's a really good Spider-Man movie. Some people call it the definitive Spider-Man movie. I wouldn't go that far, but it's still pretty damn good. If you're counting on the MCU for sure, Spider-Verse is definitely the best Spider-Man movie outside of the MCU for sure. Since Sony owns all of them, Sony involved, Spider-Verse is the best Spider-Man movie, but as far as MCU goes, this is the best Spider-Man movie, which is just the one. So, I'm really curious to see how Far From Home is. So let's go ahead and see the movie, and I like the changes they make to some of the characters. I'm also interested to see what that will do for future movies, because the changes they made and some of the decisions they made, especially giving Peter a friend. Because, like, has Peter ever had a friend before MCU? I swear. Like, all he has is MJ, right? Well, he has Gwen Stacy and then MJ. I think that's all he's got. Oh yeah, Harry Osborn, who's not even in this, right? Harry Osborn's his best friend, usually. He's not even in here, so... Also, yeah, Harry Osborn being a villain has always been just a kick in the dick for him. It really is. Very unfortunate. But yeah, let's see this movie. It's a good movie, and we'll see what we think after. Hey everybody, movie over. Yeah. Okay, so first thing really quick is MJ. At least she's not MJ. She's MJ, but she's not MJ. She's not my MJ. No, she's not MJ. She's Michelle Jones, I believe. I think it's fine if he still has his love interest named MJ, as long as it's not MJ, but a different. Because it's such a departure from the Mary Jane we know, and it's not Mary Jane, it's another girl. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Peter doesn't have to always be with Mary Jane. Like, there's AUs where it's him with Gwen Stacy, so good for them. She's like this. She's such a fun character. She's just a silly character, and they're like, "Oh, she's the Mary Jane." Like, well, not she's the MJ. And like, oh, okay. And there's hints throughout the movie that she's just really stalking the crap out of Peter, and that does make it a little creepy. Does make it a little creepy. But I did the same thing in high school, so I was creepy too. So I understand. There's that thing where you just want to be around a person when you're in high school because you're weird, and that's what she does. She's so weird. Real quick, I love the Captain America stuff. Pretty sure he's a war criminal, but still gotta play these tapes. What? Like, I just love his thing at the end where he's like, patience. And it's like, how many more of these I gotta do? It's so good. So good. There's a lot of little fun bits to this movie, and there's a lot of cleverness to this movie. My favorite thing, just thing is a thing, is Tony Stark pays attention. Like, he mentions the lady with the churro in one conversation. He mentions knowing that Peter quit band camp 6 weeks ago. And so it shows that Tony Stark's paying attention. Tony Stark actually cares about this kid. He's been listening to the messages and everything. And that's pretty interesting because Tony Stark does a whole lot of not giving a crap about anyone. At least that's what he puts up. So it's interesting just to see that they keep showing that he actually does care. Like, he saves Peter's life at one point. Well, he kind of saves it twice. And that's pretty good. Like, it's nice to see that characterization there. I know, like, people are really mad there's no Uncle Ben thing, but at the same time, we've seen it so many times. We don't need to see it again. Because, you know, we as comic book people bitch about all the time? About seeing Batman's parents die every time. We've seen his parents die so many times, and we bitch about it. And yet, we also bitch about this. So we gotta pick one. We need to pick one. Do we just allude to the motivation, or do we show it again? Because that's when we've seen the same hero over and over again. Like, we can do Iron Man's origin like 2 more times at least. Like, we don't need to see it every time when we know it. Like, everyone knows Batman's motivation. Everyone knows Peter's motivation. It's been hammered into us enough times. So I always see people complain about they don't really mention Uncle Ben. Like, there's just a hint about it. And it's like, it's fine. It's fine. I don't need to see Martha's pearls break into the ground every damn movie. What was interesting is when they did one of the iconic comic book scenes, which is Spider-Man pushing the wall off of him. I did not see it coming, but when it happened, like, oh, wow. And Tom Holland doing a good job of desperation, and he's just, like, calling for help. That was pretty cool. And then he just saves himself. It was cool to see that. And it's just interesting, he just plays Teenage Spider-Man so well, and I hope they get the hell out of Teenage Spider-Man soon. Well, time has gone by in the movie universe, so I'm hoping they're done with high school after this one, and then we get to see college, well, I guess it has to be college next. They're not going to have them skip college, because that'd be bad for the kids. But there better be a student debt joke in that one. But we'll see College Spider-Man, which will probably have Lizard Man in it, because that's usually what happens. Although maybe they'll go with something else, and then eventually adult Spider-Man. Like, I'm fine seeing Tom Holland be Spider-Man for a good long while. I think he's got the potential to be a real good Spider-Man. This was a really good movie. I like that people know Peter's secret. I like that he's got Ned, and I like that his aunt knows. We don't see any fallout from that. He's just still Spider-Man when Infinity War happens. But it's just interesting that people actually know now, because that's such a motivation for Peter, is that nobody find out. That's such a big thing for him for decades of the Spider-Man comic, is him desperately not wanting anyone to know, ever. And this was like, just kind of, he just doesn't, well, only some people know. Same thing for Iron Man with his identity. No one knows for the longest time, and in the movie, he just gives it away. I'm not the biggest fan of how Happy is in this movie, though. He's just so, just because comic book Happy's such a nice guy, I just really hate this version of him right now, where he's just really not cool. Jinx's defense of Happy, though, is he's got to deal with Peter. So, okay, fine, I suppose. It's a fun movie. I like the movie a lot. The Shocker fake out was pretty good. We're like, this guy's the Shocker. No, this guy's the Shocker. That's good. My favorite scene is Gotti with Danny Glover. When he's interrogating him and his hand stuck to the trunk of the car. He's like, oh, it'll be done in 2 hours. You're a bad guy, so you deserve it. He's like, oh, come on, man. No. And he goes like, come on, man. I got ice cream in here. That was my favorite like joke scene right there. That gave me a good laugh. Villains. Michael Keaton's The Vulture, totally top 3. Like, who's his competition? Who's his Loki, and then for me, Ultron. I like Ultron a lot. And then it's the Vulture. Like who else is competition? Whiplash ain't so great. Well, we're not counting Thanos yet. Thanos is number one when he shows up. Okay, out of the movies we've seen, Whiplash, The Abomination, Eccleston with the Dark Elf. What was the villain? Oh, the Mandarin. This is a fun idea, but Dormammu and what and all that's no, that's not even on the list for anybody, I'm sure. Yellow Jacket was serviceable. Like Yellow Jacket plays unhinged really well. Red Skull is a guy who should be Loki level, but he's just gone after the first movie. He might be back, but we're not gonna have Captain America anymore dealing with him, so we'll see what happens with there. Civil War Zemo, we know I don't like Zemo. Winter Soldier's kind of a villain, but I don't really count him as a villain. Yeah, Pierce the villain, which is so bad because Robert Redford is an amazing actor. Villains, Guardians villains. Who are they? Oh, Ego's okay. He's fourth, I guess. And what was the villain of one? Yeah, Ronan. Ronan's okay. Ronan's okay. He's just an angry guy. He's just so yeah. Your top three. You got Loki. You got I already forgot who I said, and then oh no, Ultron, and then you got Vulture, and I guess like Ego, and like Yellow Jacket, and yeah, the villains aren't there yet, but they're getting there. Phase 3, they're starting to get there. Like Thanos is number one, get for sure. Warmonger gets up there. What we got coming up? Yeah, Warmonger gets up there. The Grandmaster is a fun character. He's not a great villain. He's just a fun villain. He's a fun antagonist. I liked Hela. I also think she's hot. I like Hela. Like she's not like they needed the multiple villains because none of them are really strong, but they're fun, which helps make Ragnarok pretty fun. Like Hela's fun, the Grandmaster's fun, so them combined's pretty fun. Yeah, Warmonger, and this can be Thanos, and then I liked Ghost. Again, she's hot. No, Ghost was just a fun antagonist. Like it's the same thing as Ragnarok, where there's just too many antagonists, but together they're fun to me. Some people didn't like that there was that many villains, but they were fun in combination. We're going way off track. Okay, so Spider-Man. I like the spider suit. I like engaging kill mode. It's like, no, not kill mode. By the way, there's a kill mode. Okay, Tony Stark. Which is fine because Tony has been murdering people left and right in these movies. Like he's not no kill Tony, which is interesting because was it Civil War or Disassembled? In one of the comics, they make a big statement about why Tony Stark's a superhero and not a hero, and that no matter how much bullshit happens to him, Tony will not take a life. They make a big point about that in the Iron Man comics. And this version, he's just killing people left and right. So, very big difference there. They're like, heroes, well, they're heroes, but superheroes will not kill anybody. That's their argument. And it's a general telling this before killing the villain so Iron Man doesn't have to deal with that bullshit later. It was like, but we're just heroes, and then he shoots a guy in the head. Because, well, they're military guys. That's how the military guys are treated in comics. I don't know if there's anything else. There's a lot of fun scenes in this movie, for sure. It's a very fun movie. A lot of really good serious moments as well. But it's definitely just a fun movie. As far as the Spider-Man movies go, the Raimis, the Amazing Spider-Mans, which are at the bottom, this one, and Into the Spider-Verse. Before Into the Spider-Verse, this is number one. This is the number one Spider-Man movie. Into the Spider-Verse, it's amazing. If you haven't seen that one, you gotta see that one. But in the MCU, being the only Spider-Man movie, it's the best Spider-Man movie. I like it a lot. It's a really good movie. But Into the Spider-Verse is really good. Check it out. So let's check out the rankings here. Like, how do you define your rankings? Like, it's what you feel at the time. It's what you want to watch again. Just how you feel. How it is as a movie. There's a lot of arguments you can make, and at the end of the day, I'm not going to please anybody because we're all nerds and we're all angry nerds apparently. So, where does Jinx rank it? Really? All right. Jinx puts it at 5th place over Guardians. So Winter Soldier, Avengers 1, Avengers 2, Civil War, and Spider-Man, and then the Guardians. All right. So me, it's a better movie than a lot of these movies. It's not better than Avengers. Not better than the Guardians for me. Definitely not better than Winter Soldier. It's not better than Civil War. It's better than Ant-Man, but I'd rather watch Ant-Man than this. Like, I could watch Ant-Man over and over. I cannot watch this movie over and over. I like the movie. I could watch it in pieces over and over. When he's like not montaging, but just him recording everything happening with him during Civil War was really good. There's a lot of good scenes. It's a good movie. I like it. I like it a lot. But I'm not putting it over Ant-Man, so everyone's gonna hate me. So it's Avengers, Guardians 2, Guardians 1, Winter Soldier, Civil War, Avengers 2, Ant-Man, and then Spider-Man. So Spider-Man is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th place in the rankings for me. 5th place for Jinx. These lists are all over the damn place. I like that there's someone out there right now who's just really mad that something's under Incredible Hulk. Like, there's somebody that just like, your list doesn't mean a damn thing after an Iron Man 2 ranking. Like, for sure there's somebody out there. Well, I'm a big fan of Spider-Man, but still, that's where I place it. Like, this list is based on what are good movies and also just what I'd watch over and over again. And when Infinity War hits number 1, it's not because I'd watch it over and over again. It's just a really good movie. But yeah, that's where the rankings are right now. Up next is going to be Thor Ragnarok. Oh my god. That's a good movie. That's in the Guardians level. The debate for me is, does it beat the Guardians or is it just under the Guardians? That's gonna be the debate for me. Black Panther, it's a really good movie, but it has some stumbling points, so it's not gonna rank as high as I know some people rank it. And then Infinity War is going to be number 1. I already know that. And then it's going to be Ant-Man and the Wasp. And then it's going to be Captain Marvel. And then the next day after. Alright, so Captain Marvel's, that video is going to come out the day before Endgame. And then we're going to see Endgame. And I guess we'll just record our thoughts on Endgame after. Because me and Jinx are both going to see it the day of. Yeah. So the end game is going to be full on spoiler talk for sure. Probably like review and then spoiler talk like we usually do when we get to end game. I'll probably try to see Captain Marvel the day before too, because it should still be in theaters here. So yeah, so the Captain Marvel is going to be interesting because that one's still in theaters compared to everything else. We'll see how that one goes. So that is the video road to the end. Just a couple more to go. I had fun talking. Hope you had fun watching and listening. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time.